If you want the best coverage from the farm system to the front office, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Rangers Today Baseball Podcast, now on the Dub Network. Here are your hosts, Jeff and John.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Rangers Today Baseball Podcast. This is episode number 99, and today is World Champion Texas Rangers Day, and this is huge for me. You can see I wore my Texas Ranger garb, and I'm not ashamed to wear it today because the Texas Rangers are the world champions. Josh Sborz is joining us too.
Josh Sborz, yeah.
Special guest. The guy who threw the last pitch in the World Series is going to join us in a little bit, and that's great for him to stop down and talk to us. But Jeff, you got a new book out.
I do. It's called At Long Last.
I couldn't talk about this. I've wanted to for weeks, but this was awesome.
It's a collection of Rangers Today stories throughout the 2023 season, including the World Series, 128 pages, $16.95 from Triumph Books. You can get your copy at triumphbooks.com/rangerswin. Was not expecting it. They came to me when the ALCS started, and things were looking good, and then they weren't looking good, and then they're looking really good. So we moved forward, and it was fun to be a part of. They did almost all the work. I'd done the work. But anyway, it's a good little keepsake, a little memento. Michael Young. I wrote an introduction that's fresh, that hasn't been seen. There are some good features in there, and then, of course, goes up to the last out, thrown by our guest, Josh Sborz, and a little story on Corey Seager being the MVP. I mean, it's just a good time to be a Rangers fan. And, this is my 16th year on the beat, so roughly a third of the franchise's existence, I've been a beat writer, and I was there in 2011, so I felt everybody's pain then, and I know Rangers fans had suffered long and hard, like you, and it's over. Hey, it's over. The misery's over. I mean, I know you guys, some of you are still like, I wish we'd had 2011 too. Well, be happy with what you got now, because they can't take this one away. This is, the Astros get to keep theirs from 2017, and they cheated their way to it.
Absolutely.
The Rangers, good, clean living, good guys, great players, and it was fun to chronicle all season. It's been fun to talk to you guys about it throughout the year, and thanks for supporting the website, rangerstoday.com.
Go to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button if you're watching it on there.
Yeah, Rangers Today, it's going to cost you $60 for the year, which is $5 a month. It's a pretty good deal. We've had a good surge here of new clients, new customers in light of the postseason run and the victory, so we appreciate that. But there's just so much to talk about this episode, and we're going to try to keep it a little bit short because we can save some stuff. But I was at the games in Phoenix, including the clincher, and knowing that the book was on the line, and I was a little uptight. But as soon as Corey Seager got that hit there to start the seventh inning to end Zach Gallen's no-hit bid, he was unbelievable. Gallen,
was very good. Absolutely.
And boy, and then I could finally breathe easy when they scored 2 on that Jonah Heim hit, and then of course could breathe real easy when Semien got the home run.
And the most emotion he shows all year when he went around. Yeah. And look, no showboating there in Seager or Semien or anybody. I mean, not even Adolis when he hit the walk-off. Nobody should have a problem with showing emotion in situations like that.
Yeah, well, Justin Verlander didn't have a problem with Adolis showing emotion with his Game 5 home run in the ALCS, and somebody for the Astros did, probably that Maldonado. But these are huge moments. These are moments these guys have been playing for their whole lives. So when they let out a little emotion, it's okay.
Absolutely,
it really is. But yeah, it's weird as a reporter. Once my thought was, oh man, they're down to their last strike. I got to get my phone out so I could do a video. So I'm watching the last play through my phone. So I never really looked up to see the celebration. I saw it through my phone, and the video's on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
But you just go right into work mode. It's like, okay, I've written a story. I got to send it. Get down to the clubhouse. Well, actually, we went onto the field first because that's where the initial wave of
celebration was. They
talk,
get all
that's where they start to talk for TV, and they come off the stage. Their family's there, so
trophy presentation. All that's done on the
so
field.
you try to grab people there. Then they go inside, and it's really hard to interview in there, but you get pretty soaked with champagne. In this instance, it was much wilder than the first three celebrations. And then you write your story, and then it's like, all right, I guess I can leave. But you don't. It's weird because I went down the elevator and looked out at the field, and there was the scoreboard still had Texas Rangers World Champions on it. And so I got a photo of that, and then I walk out to the door, and I was like, I'm going to go look at that again. They'd already taken it off the scoreboard. The Diamondbacks are ready to move on. So anyway, just went home and went to Del Taco on the way home, and didn't sleep that night because I had some stuff to write for the book. I had some stuff to write for the website. I had a 5 a.m. flight. So anyway, I guess what I'm getting at is I didn't really take it all in, or it didn't sink in. And so I've watched a couple of the World Series games on replay, and they've had division series games,
and they still win every time.
Games. I know that. I know what's going to happen in these games, but I think that you want to be playing your best at the end of the year,
right?
And I think the Rangers were playing their best at the end of the year, and so many things went right. Of course, Seager was fine, and Adolis there until he got hurt was good. I think Evaldi. I think there was questions going into the postseason about Evaldi. Jordan Montgomery was great, and then of course the bullpen.
Yeah,
I think you still sweat it out every appearance. No offense, Josh Sborz, but you sweat it out every time a reliever, not just Josh, but Chapman, Clark, all these guys who had various issues throughout the year, and they were fantastic. And
they were big kudos to both Sborz and Leclerc, who really stepped up in the postseason. Yeah. Both were amazing during the postseason.
But then you had Cody Bradford do good things.
Oh, yes.
You had Dane Dunning, who was very good. Andrew Heaney, who started and was pitched in relief. And just the way they were able to mix and match it, hats off to Bruce Bochy, who should come as no surprise as he's done it before. The rules are a little different this time than the last time he did it. But Mike Maddox, they just figured it out, and they believed in the guys. And I think belief carries guys a lot. Will carry a guy pretty far. So and then the defense, in the division series, the Rangers won game 1 because of their defense late in the game with the double play that Josh Young started with Jonah Heim throwing out Gunnar Henderson at second base.
Right.
But the defense was fantastic. I mean, how many great catches did Evan Carter make? Including in game 1 of the championship series when he jumped and caught the ball, and then they threw to second, and Altuve had screwed up around second base and hadn't retouched it. I mean, that was huge stuff.
Absolutely.
And,
and defense is so amazing because, hey, kudos to the Diamondbacks, who played great defense too.
Yeah.
They took away some hits where they could have been way down.
I mean, these were the 2 best defensive teams in baseball.
Absolutely.
And, you saw Corey Seager, made that great sliding stop and flip to start the double play.
The double play, which was so huge.
Yeah. I mean, you can – I've been asked this. What made the difference this year? And you can say Bruce Bochy and Mike Maddox and free agents, but the Rangers played their best defense since I've been on the beat. And you get the outs you've got to get.
Right.
Got to get, if there's an out, you get it. And then the extra special plays take care of themselves. And they made they made a ton of those. So I just, it was an emphasis from the start of spring training, and the guys carried it through. They had three Gold Glove winners, two Gold Glove winners. They had 3 Gold Glove winners. Heim, Lowe, Garcia, 5 nominees.
Right, because Simeon and
Josh Young did not get nominated, and he's
Simeon
also not
win.
a Rookie of the Year finalist. But anyway, I think I've been talking for about 8 minutes, John. I mean, son of a bitch.
Okay, well, let me go from the fan perspective on that end. I was sitting at home. I didn't go to Arizona. We wanted, if we were going to, budget-wise, we're being tight. But if someone's going to be there, the guy that writes is going to be there for all of this. I mean, I would have loved to have gone, but I enjoyed being with my family. Yeah. My daughter came over. My son, who doesn't watch a ton of baseball, was there. They were in the living room with me. They knew how special it was to me. I mean, I am 56 years old, guys. 50 years I have been a Texas Ranger fan. I've gone to the old stadium. A lot of you have these stories. I love those stories. I loved all the videos of everybody that was showing that when they were clinching. For a lot of us that had not done that. No one got a video of me, but my wife did click some pictures of me. I wasn't jumping up and down. I just literally teared up and just grabbed my face because just watching it was amazing to me. And plus, there was more that, you know what made it more special to me? It was special to me, but on top of that, I knew the book was going to come.
Yeah.
I knew that what it was going to do for Rangers today.
Yeah.
I was so appreciative of where we were with what we were doing, on top of the fact that this was my team winning the World Series and all of this happening. I was just overcome. I didn't bawl like I could have. I bawled when A-Rod struck out and they were going to the World Series. I had never seen anything like that. But I also had about 6 beers in me too. That will help. Emotions get there. But here, I teared up, thought of my dad who took me to those games when I was a kid, who's not with us anymore, my grandfather, all of that. I know how you Ranger fans felt. And you know what? Hey, listen, if you go buy this book, we've been telling you this is going to be a great book. I promise you, if you want it signed by Jeff, not by me, you don't need my signature on this. I did not write anything in that book. But I will make sure I get somehow for you to get a signed book. I'll get it to him. If you come to a game, I'll come down and grab it and go take it to him.
I'll come down, shit.
Yeah, whatever. I'm telling you. And you know what, guys? We haven't confirmed this yet, but there may be a chance for Christmas this year to give a gift to your family member. If you go sign up for the website or whatever, you can get a signed copy of the book or something to go with it, and that would be a great gift to give somebody for Christmas.
For sure.
We're going to get
gift that keeps giving the whole year long.
That's right. We're going to get the logistics down, but we've talked about maybe doing something like that, and that's a great gift.
Sure.
Kathy bought the book for my in-laws up in Illinois. I'm going to try to get the author to sign it once it comes in.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see if that'll happen. But this team. And people complained about the playoff format or whatever, the better teams that, and all of that. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Texas Rangers all season, aside from the bullpen, were one of the best teams in the American League. There was no getting around it.
Sure.
All season long. So the fact that, and things change in the playoffs, and the reason things change in the playoffs for your bullpen is because you get the extra days off and you can really.
Yeah.
Even if the bullpen has to go crazy one day, you usually aren't going to use all 5 of your starters, and you can try to narrow it down to 4 depending on the series, and you have everybody available.
Right. That's the and there's a difference too when it gets to 7-game series. Those 3 straight games is a big deal, and you worry about the second game. The second game is the one that you kind of have to be mindful of because you're going to have a game the next night. It turned out in the World Series, in both series really, that the Rangers got their butts kicked in Game 4 of the championship series, and then they did the butt kicking in Game 4 of the World Series. So they were able to rest some of their guys, and that was a big deal going into Game 5 in both cases. Obviously, one didn't work out, but one did. But just the travel, the way the schedule's set up, and guys have the extra adrenaline. They want to win this so bad, and I think Josh will probably talk about it. I mean, how many games did he and Leclerc pitch in? I mean, almost all of them. And
Bochy goes to his guys.
Sure.
And he is like, if I see a day off, if you tell me you're good, I'm believing you and you're good.
Yeah.
And he, and he did it. What I liked about what Bochy did on this, and it was impressive, he would get the guy he wanted up and get him going, but he usually had someone getting a little hot out there in the bullpen because it was like, if he doesn't have it, he ain't going more than 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the way to do it. And so
I think that's called the Aroldis Chapman rule. I think, 3 and he was done, man.
Yeah.
And then,
but even Aroldis had his moments that were amazing.
Sure he did.
Sorry, our little backdrop.
Look at this light.
But he had those moments that he would come in and throw that first pitch, and you would go, "Oh boy, here we go!" And then all of a sudden, strike out 2, just like that, and get. But he's the wild card in all of it. He was the one that could get you.
Yeah.
Because, unfortunately, you can throw 103 miles an hour, but if you're going to not get it over, if you're going to fall behind on hitters, eventually you're going to have to control it down to the upper 90s.
Well, he got some huge outs in Game 3 of the World Series. Some real big outs, and it just all came together for these guys. I mean, and it has to, for a team to do what the Rangers did. What did they lose? 4 games in the postseason.
That's it.
They went 13-4. I mean, that's pretty strong right there.
Was 11-0?
11-0 on the road, which is unbelievable. It has never been done before. I can't.
Probably will never happen again.
It's so improbable, and it's not like the Rangers were this great road team during the regular season.
No, they did okay on the road, but they were a much better home team.
But for what they were able to do. After game 162, they lost 1-0. They didn't win the division. They had to go 6 hours from Seattle to Tampa. Whatever happened, whatever changed, whatever was said, just great stuff, And
absolutely,
Corey Seager was the World Series MVP. Adolis Garcia was the MVP of the championship series. They don't do MVPs for division or wild card round. Nathan Eovaldi made 6 starts, won 5 of them. Jordan Montgomery, I think, went 3-1, had that gutty Game 7 relief appearance in the ALCS. Evan Carter set an all-time record for doubles in a postseason.
He got on base on every postseason game?
He was on base in 17 games. Some of it was painful, but he played great defense, a star is born type of thing for him. I just don't – you can just keep going on and on and on. Somebody on that team did something great. And
you know who else did? Somebody was on our show a couple of shows ago. Travis Jankowski was huge. He stepped up for when Adolis went down, and you really literally thought to yourself, okay, damn it, here we go. And we've pulled ahead of these guys. Adolis goes down, who, by the way, was probably going to try to fight through it, but did think of himself and think of his teammates is what he thought about.
And I think the team had to think of him, or had to just weigh all the options and be like, we can't carry this guy. What if something happens?
Absolutely.
So, but
Travis,
keep going.
Travis he got 4 hits in 2 games, got the double and played great defense. And they talked to him. He got on a couple of national shows, and we love him. I mean, he was great on our show. Go back. I'll link that out later. But he was so great to talk to, and that family of his is great. He's a free agent. I guess we'll have to talk about that before we get out of here. We are not going to go into hot stove offseason stuff. That's next week. This show goes year round. So we are going to be going. The only week, maybe in a couple weeks, might be off because I have to travel to Illinois, but we could still do it from there. I'll bring the computer.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll just do it not from the studio.
Yeah, maybe.
Because we can talk that way and then maybe just us and talk about stuff. But I'm telling you right now, Travis did everybody on that. Austin Hedges was huge on this team for not only the cheering he does and what he does on the sideline, the camaraderie in that. And he came in late in games. And one game he came in and caught, and he is just as good as Jonah on defense, if not better.
Yeah.
Just he doesn't hit. That's just reality. He doesn't hit as good as any of the other catchers on the team. Yeah. But that guy contributed. Everyone contributed on this team.
No doubt. And that's what it takes. And it takes 26 guys and plus some good fortune and from time to time, and some good managing and coaching, and just really don't know what else to say. It just came together. But they have gone into the off season now. Everything, all their programs are going to be delayed a month probably. You wonder when pitchers will start to dial it back up, especially the starters, especially Eovaldi, who was injured for most of the second half.
Yeah.
You wonder about that. I know we're not going to talk too much about free agency, but Jordan Montgomery's a free agent. Are you going to bring him back? You're going to bring Mitch Garver back, Travis Jankowski, Robbie Grossman.
Garver.
Bullpen guys.
Yeah.
Do you bring back Will Smith? I mean, who had a good
Aroldis.
half a year. And
Yeah.
Aroldis, who's when he's on, he's hard to beat. And the Rangers definitely need bullpen help, obviously. So
Chris Stratton.
a lot of things up in the air on that regard, but
And we are going to get into this.
yeah, but like the Rangers have already started cleaning up some of the roster. A couple decisions were made. Andrew Heaney exercised his player option for $13 million, so he'll be back. The Rangers exercised their option for $6.25 on Jose Leclerc, so he's going to be back. And
that doesn't mean he's the closer. If they sign
Right,
one, he'll be
right.
an eighth inning guy or whatever. But there's no doubt when he's right, he's good. Same with Josh Sborz.
Right.
When Josh Sborz is right, he's good.
Yeah, and they were both, Leclerc started the year hurt with a neck injury, and he really struggled in April. Sborz started on the injured list with an ankle deal. Then in July, he had a bicep/shoulder deal. Then in September, he had a hamstring issue. And in between those times, and he was good. He was really
He was
good.
one of the best arms out there. And I am when you're wrong, you're wrong. And I kept making the jokes about playing DFA jiu-jitsu and how he would avoid it and all of that. But you know what? It's right. It's why I don't work in a front office.
Yeah.
They know who is value to them. And by God, they don't throw someone away who knew he was injured. A lot of times, there was some points we didn't even realize he was injured.
Yeah, they're, all these guys deal with something.
Yes. And they knew that this guy's arm was something they could use when they got there. And man, look, when he was on, And I remember that point when I said, am I crazy or is the best guy in the bullpen right now Josh Sborz? And this was towards the end of the season when he got going. He was the guy shutting everybody down.
Yeah.
And it was like, you just got to get him right. And it turns out there were some injuries and stuff like that. And you know what? We all have injuries. I injure myself sleeping.
I mean, I'm hurting right now.
I am too. I'm in pain. Look,
but you think about what the team went through. They, 5 of the 6 All-Stars were on the injured list at some point.
Yep.
In the second half.
Only Simeon is the only one that stayed healthy. Well, I mean, we didn't know how healthy he was, but he's the one that never went on the IL, never showed or talked about an injury.
Didn't take a day off.
Didn't take a day off. Had more at bats than anybody in baseball.
He had the most plate appearances by any player ever in baseball.
Ever.
Including the postseason. It was
Right.
like 854.
Exactly. And he hit a home run his last at bat in the World Series. Last one he had.
Pretty spectacular. And he had a baby. So
yep. Hey, listen, we're not going to go down in the bus leagues today, guys, but we do need to do, and probably this offseason we'll combine it, but we do need to clean up some minor league stuff. Rule 5's coming up Monday. Is that when you have to make your choice? Or?
Tuesday.
The
14th is when you got to set the roster. And the Rangers have 7 open spots on the 40-man right now. I think they'll probably protect 4. I don't think they'll protect 5.
Sborz. Not sport. Foscue. Why did I say sports? Foscue.
Yeah. Foscue. Antoine Kelly.
Yes.
Mark Church.
Yep.
And I think I think Blaine Krim has a case. I think Davis Wenzel has a case. But Dane Acker, I think, will probably get that 4th spot. Just they absolutely love him. He pitched really, really well at AA. He would get gobbled up in the.
And is there anybody on this roster that is a candidate to maybe be DFA'd?
Maybe, but I don't think they have to worry about that right now. I think one thing that they'll do if they need roster spots is they'll try to trade some of the young guys who are on the 40-man. They've protected a lot of guys here the last couple of years from the Rule 5, and like Cole Winn is on the 40-man, and Dustin Harris is on the 40-man, and I'm not saying that they need to be traded, but I think that they would want to try to do that. And in the Arizona Fall League, it's a chance for prospects to make up on innings. It's also a chance to showcase guys who are Rule 5 eligible, and Justin Slayton is one of those guys who's there, and he had a phenomenal year as a reliever.
Right.
Maybe something gets worked out with him. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but I think 5 is too big of a number. I think 4 is probably the number.
When can they send the guys back to the 60-day IL? Because we know DeGrom's going to start on the 60-day IL.
Yeah, not till spring training starts.
When it starts, you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, or is it at the end of spring training?
You can do it at the beginning of spring training.
Okay, all right. So they can go back, put him back where he's supposed to be, and then that opens up another 40-man spot. So
it does.
For minor league free agencies. So, because I honestly, and we'll get into all of the free agents and all of that, there's a couple of guys that are free agents now that we obviously think they ought to bring back and at least look at. And I'm not just talking about arms. I think everyone thinks about arms and thinks about Montgomery and stuff like that, and we'll get into it. But I'm talking people like Jankowski, who probably has a spot on this team if you really think about it.
I mean, and it may be a deal where they say, hey, we want you to come back, but we don't have a 40-man spot right now. So sign this minor league deal.
Right. And this is what you'll get.
And you're going to make the team.
Yeah.
And
if he doesn't have another deal that's better on the table somewhere.
Right.
I think he really enjoyed it here. He liked it.
Sure. And these guys know who they are.
Right.
I'm sure they all want to play every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they also want to be part of a great culture and a winning ball club. And
he is not Charlie Culberson on the end of that bench. He is a valued guy that.
Yeah,
remember how
but he can be Charlie Culberson.
Yes, he can. You don't have to worry about getting him at bats.
Right.
But he can come in. He can literally come in late in the game and be helpful. Right. He can pinch run for Jonah Heim in the 8th in a close game when you need somebody to maybe steal a base.
Sure.
That guy can do that and do that. And I mean, I know sometimes you would pinch run Josh Culberson or Charlie or whatever, but this guy's a legit threat. Plus, you can move back out to the outfield and have a great outfield out there.
Sure.
I mean, there's so much we're going to get into.
There is.
But we got to get to Josh Sborz.
We do need to get Josh Sborz, father of 2 young kids, and
world
champion and
world champion Josh Sborz, who threw the very last.
He's been feeling under the weather. He there was something going around throughout the clubhouse there at the end, and
so this team wasn't even 100%. They were sick, and they won the World Series.
Well, nobody's 100%, but I think that I caught the Ranger virus too, because I've been struggling a little bit, and I think I'm trying not to sniffle or cough too much during this, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, yeah, congratulations to the Rangers, congratulations to the fans. I'll pat Rangers Today on the back too. Congratulations to Rangers Today. Just a lot of good things going. I mean, feels great.
Oh, it does.
Feels great.
No, it does. Guys, Josh Sborz coming up right after that. We've already, Down in the Bus League's been here. Don't forget about that book. Hit the subscribe button down below. Go sign up for rangerstoday.com. We're going to have some specials coming up for the holidays. But Josh Sborz coming up right after this. And joining us right now from his home, and man, this is never going to get old saying this, but it is world champion right-handed pitcher for the Texas Rangers, Josh Sborz, who, by the way, threw the very last pitch in the World Series. Josh, this is exciting. This is the first time I'm wearing all my gear, you see, because I was a fan.
Looks good on you.
Way before I was ever in the media, I'm a fan. So what's going on, man?
Just, I like what you said. We got, right-handed pitcher, champion, just really flows well. But, just getting back into the swing of things in the off season. So just working out, family time, pretty boring overall, but I enjoy it.
You're already working out?
Yeah, I'm not one to sit around.
So what are you doing right now?
Go to Meister's place, TMI, get there at 7. And just a little lightweight, get ready to start actually lifting real weight. And then just taking care of some problems that I had this season with my arm. Just want to be healthy for next year. It was great that we won, but the show never stops in baseball. So you got to pick it up pretty quickly.
What, because the season went so long, how have they talked to you about when to start throwing and kind of you're a month behind, I guess, on your normal off season.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's only going to be 2 weeks of no throw, right? And then the next week following that, it's going to be weighted ball throws only. And then after that week, we'll start throwing again. But it'll be light, slow build up. But for me personally, I just don't ever like getting hurt in spring training. So I kind of like to be overly prepared almost, strength wise. I like spring training to be a lateral movement to my body. So it's prepared instead of, going into spring training a little behind. Then I get sore, then I get hurt. So a lot of it's just protecting yourself.
When do you usually, in a normal off season, when do you usually get off a mound?
Ooh, mid-December, I guess.
Okay.
Usually 5 weeks before spring training, you start throwing once or twice a week off the mound. That way you have about 10 to 12 days off the mound because, this stuff doesn't necessarily, it's like riding a bike, but, you got to fine tune your stuff. So you need a good amount of time to be on there. Just practicing.
Gotcha. So, yeah. So, I mean, we're a week removed from the parade. The parade was a week ago today, which means you guys clinched 9 days ago. What's the ride been like? What have the past 9 days been like?
Just fun. Been trying to just let it sink in. Still really hasn't. I think this is something a lot of us have dreamed of doing their entire lives, preparing for this moment. And then it came and it happened. So just trying to re-experience, enjoy the moments. For me, get to be with my family a little more, so we get to enjoy the moment together. But it's just a really cool moment. There's not a lot of words I can put into context of what it felt like and how it's been the last 9 days, but it's been something special.
Did you have you gone back and watched any of it, like the last out and your glove spike and anything like that?
Because I have watched I've watched that glove spike about 300 times.
I've watched it quite a few times. I think if we're talking about my favorite videos, was some of the fan celebrations I saw. I think that stuff was really cool. Like the joy that they had of us winning. I think when we play sports, sometimes we just care about what the team aspect is, how we celebrate it, but seeing them cheer us on, how they celebrate it was really cool. But yeah.
What happened to your beard, man? Was
that
just a playoff only beard?
Hey, General Sborz from the Civil War shaved it right off. Got back to the 21st century. Clean shaven. Haircut next.
That was kind of an old timey look you had there.
It's a terrible beard.
What was the rookie of the year? Is that the kid that had the broken arm and the crazy pitching coach, Daniel Stern? Yeah. And he had kind of the
clubby. Yeah. I got that one a lot. Don't worry. I got that and Marv from Home Alone.
There you go. So Marv is that guy.
Yes. Yeah.
Marv is that guy.
Not the best comps. Could be better. I was hoping like Brad Pitt, Ryan Reynolds, but just don't have the looks for that.
How when did you stop shaving? Was it like
I shaved right before the Rays series.
Okay.
And then we obviously played really well, and I was like, I can't mix it up. And then we went to the Orioles. Then it turned into me not shaving, and then I started wearing the same freaking clothes on the road every single time. Yeah. White shirt, blue jeans, white shoes. So
it's superstition, right?
Like the exact same clothes, or just that color?
No, the exact same clothes.
Okay.
And then at home, I dressed a little more comfortably, a little lighter, and we lost against the Astros, so I went right back to it.
It's funny. This shirt that I'm wearing right here, when you guys took it, so I was there when you lost the game to Arizona in Texas. So I went home. I had this on, a pair of sweatshirt, because I didn't go there. Jeff went to Arizona. I didn't go to Arizona. And an undershirt. And y'all won that night. And I swear to you, I took them off, laid them on my spot on the couch, and didn't wash them. And every night for the next 3 nights, I put them on.
Yeah.
Same thing. And I was like, I don't care how bad I stink. This is working.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
I'm down the middle of Mr. Reporter here, but I did at Arizona park in the same parking spot all 3 days. I did something else. I think I got there at the same time, roughly the same time.
Hey,
so,
there's no reason to throw anything off. So I like repeatability. So wearing the same stuff, doing the exact. I mean, we ate every off day. We ate sushi. We did, I'm serious. We did the exact same thing almost every day.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
and it worked.
Absolutely.
It did. It absolutely worked.
Because this is world champion right-hand pitcher Josh Sborz of the Texas Rangers. Because of me wearing this stinky thing in my
there you go.
Pants.
All right. Oh, I wore the same shoes every day too. I also wore the same shoes.
Perfect. See?
And they took a beating in the clubhouse.
Oh yeah, my tennis shoes got drenched. I was there when y'all clinched.
Why were they ruined?
They weren't ruined, but they definitely got it run in the washer.
Well, so here I am, a guy that has access, and if y'all would have clinched at home, I could have been there for the bath, just like I was when y'all clinched with the Oreos. I was there for that one and got drenched and all of that. But I called Jeff when on that night on game 5, and I called him and I said, look, as much as that would be cool, my heart can't stand it. You guys need to just bring it home. I'll see everybody at the parade.
Yeah, no, that's where we were too. I mean, we kind of had them on the heels, so we were just like, we need to finish this now. Because who'd they have for Game 6 coming? He pitched real well. Yeah,
Kelly.
So just looking at the matchups, we're like, let's finish this now because we don't want to let him get on a roll again.
Yes.
And then Game 7, it's always a toss up.
Absolutely,
yeah.
It's always a toss up.
You stumbled off the mound in Game 3, which I didn't see.
I did,
and then hence my question to you afterward, which was, what the fuck happened to you? And then so you don't pitch Game 4. So did you know going into Game 5 that, especially with the off day, that it's like, I'll pitch 7, whatever you need, I'm ready to go?
Yeah. I mean, when you get to the playoffs, we're just trying to win no matter what. So that's kind of my mentality for the entire playoffs. So I'll throw as many innings. I know it's only going to be 1 month long of a lot of work. So, you can manage that. And so going into that game, I knew if it was close, I was going in because I knew we had an off day on the back end too. So, I was fresh on the front, knew I was going to have time to recover on the back end. So I knew obviously the coaches, a lot of good communication about, what the situations were going to be for me. I knew if Chappie went in before me, I was going to go long. I knew I was going to try to bridge the gap to Pico, Leclerc. And so I was just bear down, and then 8th inning comes by and I come into the dugout and he's like, you're going back out. And I said, okay, that's cool. Not what I expected. You always try to plan, how you're going to react. Cause I probably wouldn't have fist pumped in the 8th if I thought I was going back out.
Yeah.
I don't want to don't like celebrating too early. I knew I was going longer than 1 inning, but to go 2 1/3, I think scoring those 4 extra runs was a tremendous help.
Right.
And Bochy has been brilliant all year in that you were dealing. And it's like you'd have to get Pico up, like you said. I guess that's his nickname, Pico Leclerc.
Yeah.
You got to get him up, get him hot, get him warmed, and you got Sborz already warmed and ready to go. Why not go, hey, just keep rolling, bub. Keep going.
Yeah.
We got a 5-run lead now.
Well, but so you're coming off the field though, and they say you're going back. Who told you, Maddox or Bochy?
Maddox, yeah. Maddox. I mean, generally the only time Bochy will tell me anything is if my day's over, or if he's taking the ball from me off the mound.
If he's
okay, but at the time it was 1-0. It wasn't 5-0.
Right.
So yeah, I guess you were pretty pumped up to see those extra runs.
I thought personally when he told me that, I thought Perdomo was going to be my guy, and then when the top of the lineup rolled by, it was going to be Pico, just more for matchups. Perdomo not as good on curveballs. I throw a lot. And then Carroll's a little worse with a changeup. Don't throw one. Leclerc's is really good. So I also thought that they were going to let him finish because he closed out every game we won. So I was already mentally prepared not to finish. But, I got the first out, didn't see anybody coming, got the second out, didn't see anybody coming. So I was like, let's just make this 1, 2, 3 so I can finish.
Well, I mean, when one of those was like a 1 pitch out, right? I mean, it was.
Carroll was 2.
Okay.
I think I threw a curveball for a ball and then heater up out of the zone and he swung at it. And then Gotti popped it up.
Got it. That's right.
Had you already told yourself, or was that pure reactionary when you spiked the glove? Were you like, if I get this guy out, I'm spiking it, or was that just pure emotion?
Just emotion. Yeah, I didn't prepare to finish the game, so I didn't have anything in mind. But
you didn't have
when you're in that moment. No, when you're in that moment, you just try to just let your emotions go, I guess. Because it's something crazy like that. So that was the best thing I could think of in that span. And I think it came out pretty good.
It worked.
You could see I wanted to fist pump first, and then I went to the glove spike. So there were some adjustments.
Well, and the gloves going to the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, really cool. I mean, I couldn't use it next year because we added another member to the family, so I got to add his initial. So that glove was getting retired regardless.
Okay.
All right. Perfect.
All right. That's perfect.
It's a pretty good place to retire.
Yeah.
Your glove.
So,
absolutely.
So hopefully the kids can see it one day.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. The Hall of Fame's. Have you been?
I never had. Kat and I have
been
going to be planning on doing it anyway, but
you can't just go you can't just do one tour. You have to do 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's dense.
It's fantastic.
Wow.
And
for me as a nerd, that's just like my heaven. And she wants to go. We just haven't had a chance.
Well, Beltray will go this summer, so assuming I'll go back and I'll just
maybe Rangers Today needs to be there.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. We'll check that travel budget.
I'm sure it's expanded.
It has. So the going into the postseason, though, you were coming off of the injury with the hamstring. Did you know that you were Josh Sborz at that point? Were you comfortable?
I mean, I felt like my issue through my career has been command, right? So I look at this year, and I think when I was struggling, I was still commanding the ball. It was just more of a matter of my stuff was really bad compared to what it was in the beginning of the year. So I knew I just needed to make a small hand placement, right? And, I think I came in Seattle game 2, we were getting kind of whooped at that point, right? I think we were losing 8-0.
Yeah.
Came in and struck the side out, and I was like, okay, we're back to normal again. That small adjustments helped. So it was just I think it stemmed from my first shoulder injury. I think the way I was just trying to avoid some pain, and then you get in a bad habit, and then you face good teams and they crush average stuff. Right. And, I think most of my runs stemmed from Minnesota Twins and the Houston Astros. So just kind of getting my numbers back to where they were was, I knew that's all I had to do. I knew I wasn't far off. I think that was the frustrating part with that part of the season was, I'm throwing strikes. I'm throwing it where I want to, and they're just getting crushed.
Okay. Gotcha. So, I guess your season's a success because you won the World Series, but do you look at it individually and be like, I was hurt, I performed well when I was healthy? Is that kind of what you carry?
Yeah, season? when you play sports, if you say you're good, even if you don't feel good, there's gonna be no asterisks on the stats. And I do have a problem. Like I want to freaking be out there. If I'm 10% or 100%, I think I need to figure that out. I need to grow up. Not to, you end up hurting the team more than helping the team when you go out there and when you're not 100%. But I think winning the championship, kind of X's out everything else, good, bad, great. the final taste that you're going to have in your mouth is a champion, and
Yeah.
a lot of champagne in your mouth.
It's a learning experience too for you. It's a team game. And like you said, you think I just need to help this team, even if I'm not healthy, but maybe there's a point in the season where you're like, maybe it's going to help this team if I go get better because I'm dealing with the hamstring or whatever. I'm dealing with the shoulder or whatever. But I can't imagine I have adrenaline playing board games with my family. So I can't imagine the adrenaline. I just want to be out there, even if I'm not 100%. But now that you've won it all, it's like, hey, you know what? I can sit down for a couple of weeks and get ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want the team.
I think it's just, it's taking out that competitive atmosphere. I mean, like for me, I just like to play. I like to try to do things, compete against people. Even, Corey said it in his interview in the championship was, we play cards. Can't stand losing. I think that's one thing about our team was competitive as hell in every aspect. Even we had a small basketball that people would be playing for money, just to get that rush. And I think that's the cool thing about our team was we cared about everything.
Well, my sports story though, that's always you guys had and I've said this before, but the ping pong table, they guys get the ping pong table going in there. And Josh cracked me up one day, but I mean, look, these are world-class athletes playing ping pong. There's good players that get in there and they play. And one day I just out of blue noticed, I said, you know what? I think Sborz is the best ping pong player there. So you were coming off from batting practice. And I said, dude, pretty damn good at I said, man, you may be the best ping pong player out there. And he goes, yeah, I'm pretty good.
Hey, I learned from my dad used to put it on me when I was younger in ping pong. So, I don't let up. I suffocate people on the ping pong table.
He's good.
Ruthless.
Man. He moves it, man. He moves it. I was just sitting there impressed going, holy shit, he's good.
Who's the second best?
Ooh, there's a few guys that are pretty good. I mean, Simi, really good.
Simeon's pretty good.
Dolis and Garver, Dunning. I know Corey can play. He's pretty good. He doesn't want to, throw off his routine too much. I've seen him play in LA. I've seen him in LA and it's pretty good as well.
All right. Well, this is the point where, not that I've asked you a bunch of hard hitting questions, but this is where John kind of lightens the mood a little bit.
Yeah. So look, as I always come at it since I grew up a Texas Ranger fan, I always know what Texas Ranger fans want to know, and they want to learn some personal stuff about Josh Sborz. So first of all, you grew up in McLean, Virginia.
McLean.
It's spelled McLean.
I know what it's spelled.
Okay, all right. So McLean, Virginia. You went to McLean High School. Did you play any other sports besides baseball?
I played a little basketball. Wasn't great. I mean, my brother's 9 years older than me. Got drafted out of high school. So, I kind of knew what I was going to do from early age, but I always did play basketball, whether it was a high level. No, it was generally small AAU. And then, when I knew I was going to be a baseball player, I just started playing rec for the exercise.
There you go.
But I knew at my stature of a whopping 6'2", I was going to be limited to on the basketball court to a point guard. And, I don't think I'm as nimble as Steph Curry. So I pretty much knew that baseball was going to be my calling.
All right.
And you ended up going to Virginia, and I know you're from Virginia, so you ended up going to UVA. Did you have any other schools that you were interested in or that maybe offered?
I knew I was going to stay on the East Coast. UNC, it was pretty much UNC, UVA, or Miami. But I realized I didn't need to go that far from my family. I just needed to be far enough.
Yeah.
So 2.5 hours was a perfect amount.
Just far enough that they couldn't just pop in without.
Yeah. They always had to tell me beforehand. But I think I picked UVA because the pitching coach there at the time, Carl Kuhn, was like, "Hey, I'm tough on guys. I'm a screamer. I'm a yeller." And, that's kind of what my background was with my parents was they were always tough, expected things to be done the right way. And so that, with that type of honesty, I knew we were going to be a good fit.
So I've been to Charlottesville once and
beautiful place.
It's unbelievable. It is
too.
So pretty. My wife and I are like, this is the place to retire. It
is pretty.
It's sneaky. It's really a good wine too.
Yeah. No, that's why we went actually.
Taxes though.
Well, that's a good point.
Okay.
But we did go for the
It'd be pretty.
wine.
Houses are pretty cheap there, though.
We went for the wine and the history because I'm a history buff, and
I
so
am
we
too.
drove around all the Civil War stuff. I'd been to Monticello previously, so I guess I've been to Charlottesville twice, but once as an adult. And, we went to the White Spot, a little diner.
Yeah.
That was solid, man. That was a great breakfast.
I don't remember that. I was there on business many years ago, but I don't remember the White Spot. Okay.
Did you get the fried donuts with ice cream in the middle?
I did not. It was breakfast, but they
that sounds like something you would get though.
It is, but they deep fried the bacon. I guess a lot of people deep fry bacon. But I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
it was great.
We'd roll into that place, past midnight, just trying to eat some food.
I understood. I think
What's
I
it
understood.
called? The White Place?
White Spot.
The White Spot. It's kind of like a
It's
Denny's?
right. It's like right across the street from the campus. I mean, it's
right on the strip. The three main bars are right there.
Okay, so it's not like Denny's, because Denny's, they always say you don't go to Denny's. That's where you end up at the end of the night. So, but the White Spot was open late, so you could go there. I'm sure that college kids do college things, so you probably need to get some fried food. Okay, you were drafted in the second round in 2015 by the Dodgers out of UVA. Now, back then, I mean, obviously you weren't in New York. I'm assuming you might have been on your College World Series run, something like that. Where were you, and how did you find out you'd been drafted?
We were in between regionals and super regionals at Buffalo Wild Wings in Charlottesville.
Right.
I thought I was going to go a little earlier in the draft, so we waited for a good 3 hours, and I was about done with wings and beer. I think I was getting a little tired, and they drafted me. Played there for a few years. Great. Really loved the Dodgers. It was a cool place to be. I ended up here.
So I mean, you were with the Dodgers, and they're the Dodgers, and we're winning a ton, and then you go to the Rangers and you lose 102 games. Were you like, shit? Or is it just part of the journey?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the journey. I mean, listen, I don't play this game to lose. So, the 2 previous years were not that fun. I think it was honestly more stressful than I enjoy the moment because I get to live out my dream, right? But I mean, shoot, it gets old losing every single game. And, we knew we were going to get there eventually, right? But, it just took a little bit, right? It took a few more guys, different coaches, just changed the mentality completely. And I think, CY did all of that and did it in 2 years, which is crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so this is one of my favorites, Josh. Is somebody that I played ball all the way through high school, never went anywhere with it. I just wasn't good enough. But you got the call that all of us wish. On June 20th, 2019, you made your major league debut. That means it was during the middle of the season. You got told you were getting called up to the big leagues. Tell me how you got called up. Who told you about it? Who'd you call first? Tell me about that experience.
Yeah. Funny part is I actually got called up like the 3rd week of that year for 6 days and did not pitch once.
Oh, geez.
So that was nerve-wracking, just not getting it out of the way. First person I called, my wife, obviously, that was, no doubt. And then my parents, obviously, but I knew I was close, right? You get the itch when you start playing well in the minor leagues that you're almost there, right? And got the call. They all came out, didn't pitch the first 6 days, right? And then the next one was I think I got called up for one day. I think I got hurt. I don't necessarily remember the time frame very well, but similar thing. I pitched 1 inning, thought I was done. Living the dream. Debut, clean inning, no runs, no hits. And they said, you're going back out there. And I'm like, come on, just let the boy enjoy the moment. But the second inning with the 19 Giants didn't go that great, hence why I don't like to celebrate
early,
because baseball will humble you.
There you
I
go.
think
You get a pass on the World Series, though.
Yeah. I think DeGrom has a good phrase with this is there's 2 types of players. There's players that have been humbled and players that are going to be humbled. And so I got humbled pretty quickly.
All right, a couple more before we let you get out of here. So we always ask this about guys on food and what kind of food. What's your favorite kind of food you like to eat? If you can have anything.
I could eat steak every day.
That's my guy.
If we're ordering out, I honestly think I could eat Chipotle.
That's the fast
for
food
breakfast,
joint.
lunch, and dinner. Yeah.
Everybody, all the baseball players, and you guys, people don't realize this. As much as you guys work out, you eat a lot. You do take a lot of calories in.
Yeah, the off-season budget is awful for food. It's frustrating how much money we spend on just meat alone.
Now, what's your favorite home-cooked meal, and who cooks it? Does mom cook something, your wife, something? What's the favorite home-cooked meal?
For breakfast, it's chipped beef. So if you guys have had biscuits and gravy before,
yes.
Sure. You take out a lot of people put sausage in it. My dad's from PA. He'd put corned beef hash in there.
Oh, wow.
So my wife eats it because the meat is like a half pound, 99 cents a pack. And we would just, put it on some English muffins and probably 30 of them.
And just crush it.
Do you believe in eating breakfast for dinner?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
we can be
eggs.
Right.
Eggs are free game at any point for me.
Absolutely.
I could eat them all day.
Absolutely. That's what real people do. That is a real man's thing. Breakfast is good any meal. I don't care what it is. You can eat breakfast.
And my wife's the same too. We could probably once a week we'll eat breakfast for dinner.
Yeah. Fantastic.
My wife loves it too. Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. All right, you know what? We got a lot to ask, but we'll get you on again. We'd like to have guys on more than once. We'll get to some of those later. But I always end it with this one on your very first episode. I always got to ask, and I'll give you some of the answers so you kind of know where I'm talking about. It's always what is something that nobody knows about Josh Sborz? Let me give you some examples. First of all, your former GM, JD, when he has asked this question, he has airplane underwear, which he wore on every trip. He had one pair he wore there and one pair he wore home. He said, "Hey, I'm still here. It always worked." CY likes true crime. He loves to watch true crime, like First 48. We had
the First 48.
Brock Burke. I'm the one that discovered the Brock Burke one. He's a sleepwalker. Everyone knows that story.
Best story ever.
Yeah. Do you have one from him, or do you just?
No, I will not. I will not divulge any of his information. If he's willing to tell the story, he can go ahead. But
we've heard a couple.
We've heard a few of them.
He was on, and he told us a couple.
He told us a few.
They're special. They're special.
They are.
So, what is something that nobody knows about Josh Sborz?
I mean, I can segue off both of those guys. With JD, I hate planes. I hate flying. I don't understand them. And honestly, if you see me on a plane, I am white knuckling the armrest until we are, after takeoff. First I count 0 to 60. Once I get to 60, I know we're going to be okay. But,
wow.
Hey,
bad career choice, flying everywhere.
Yeah.
But I guess, hate planes. I would rather drive 15 hours than take a plane.
So the bus leagues never bothered you?
Yeah, I mean, they get a little old, but never been a big flyer. I don't know why. I've been flying my whole life, but just don't like it.
So do you guys have like an RV? Are you going to get an RV to do your vacations?
I mean, so during spring training, we would just drive. I would drive across the country. I seriously don't enjoy flying at all.
Crazy.
And it's not a bad way to go. Kathy and I travel a lot and we like it, but some of our best vacations we've had have just been driving, going and spending time together and doing stuff like that. So, all right, man. So that's it.
How many times do you fly this year?
Oh my God, the miles you guys put on there.
Probably 100 flights.
Yeah.
So once you get to
they make fun of us. They make fun of me. They always look back and just watch me. And, at the time most of my flights for the last 3 years, I've been next to John King.
Yeah.
And he hates flying more than me. So we are never a good combo because I feel his anxiety, he feels mine, and it only makes it worse.
Wow. So, but it's only like that for takeoff and landing. I mean,
really just takeoff.
Okay.
Takeoff's fine. I mean, bad. And then I like landing because I know we're close.
Yeah.
Man.
That,
all right.
You know what, though? Look at it. It's crazy how big that thing is. It's going 30,000 feet into the air. Believe me, I could see where that could be an anxiety thing. I have a heights problem, real big, afraid of heights.
You won't catch me on buildings either.
Yeah. You know what? You're a smart human. I get up there. My kids even try to walk near something, and I'm like, hyperventilating. I'm like, you guys get away. Y'all need to get away. We went hiking up in Arkansas one time with the family, and my kids wanted to go out and look over this ledge. I'm back 30 feet going, y'all getting away. I'm going to pass out just y'all walking up to the ledge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You guys are crazy.
You know what? No,
I did the World Trade Center. I went up there 2 minutes. I was back down. Like I could feel that thing just swaying.
Holy crap.
just not for me. It's just, it is what it is.
Well, anything else for Josh?
No. Enjoy the rest of your off season.
Yeah, man.
It's just starting.
93 days.
Yeah, exactly.
All we got.
That's right. Hey, Josh, look, we know how busy y'all are during the season. We know the off-season's time, especially after this year, that you guys want to get some family time. But taking the time to stop down and talk to us is fantastic. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to see it spring, maybe even around here in the off-season. We'll see. But, Bud, thanks so much for coming on with us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on.
All right.
That's Josh Sborz. Say it one more time. He is a world champion right-handed pitcher for the Texas Rangers. Josh, thanks a lot. Guys, that's it for this episode. We're not going to go down the bus leagues because we talked about it earlier. So until next time, we will see you at the yard.